Hello, welcome to Writing Quest. My name is Brennan Pugh. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about 4 IPs that I'm really excited about that are coming out soon. I think they are necessary in a time where creativity with some of the big franchises is feeling pretty stagnant. So these IPs I'm really excited about, and so I'm going to talk about them. Huzzah! All right, number 1 is the Rippaverse. If you've been here for a little bit, you have probably seen my other 2 reviews on the 2 comic books they've released so far, ISOM 1 and ISOM 2. This was created by Eric July, and it is a comic book superhero universe. I'm really excited about it. I think it has so much potential. It's basically I would call it pretty much a direct competitor to the DC Marvels of the universe, where it's superheroes and superhero type stories. So it doesn't really, at the moment, it's not super it's definitely within that realm. It's not like breaking the mold. It's not some sort of different fantasy thing or whatever. I think they're eventually going to break out and do some more crazy stuff and really push the boundary because they're an independent creator. But for me right now, it's definitely filling a void of really good superhero content, even though they've only got 2 books out right now. They have some more coming. They've got their Alpha Core book is coming out, I think, this fall, and they've got more coming for next year. They're kind of ramping up production on a lot of their stuff. They're hiring a lot of industry veterans to work on the book, so they're really high quality, and the artwork is great. Everything about them, I think, is super awesome. The construction of the books, even like the paper, feels really good. So they're definitely sparing no expense, and they definitely feel like they're respecting their fans, they're respecting their supporters, and that's, I think, really important because I feel like there's a lot of creators right now, the big franchises, the big corporations that don't really respect their fans so much anymore. And so we have this kind of new wave of content creators and building these new universes where the fans really are respected for supporting the creation. And so the Rippaverse to me is a really great start. It's awesome. You should check it out. Rippaverse.com. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, but I just am a big fan, and so check it out. Obviously, you can see from my hat, I'm a big fan, so make sure to check them out. ISOM 1, ISOM 2 are out, and they've got more coming, so get on their email lists, all that kind of stuff. Number 2, The Creator. So The Creator is a Hollywood movie, so it's not really an independent anything right now. It was made by Gareth Edwards, who also made Rogue One, and he's made a bunch of other movies, of course. I included this one in here. I don't know if this one is necessarily going to become like a big franchise, but I wanted to include it because I feel like the movie just feels really fresh and interesting. It's kind of tackling a question based on the trailers. It seems like it's tackling a question that we're all going to be asking, which is about AI and its role in our world and universe and how we handle AI and humanity and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of, but what I love about it in the trailer, it just looks so interesting, so detailed, very vibrant. The acting and the actors look really great. All the special effects look great. And what's really interesting is what I heard was this movie was made on maybe less than 100 million. This may not be correct, but I believe it was made on less than 100 million. And to me, it looks better than all of these other things that have been, they've been having budgets of $300 million on some of these big budget movies. And to me, this movie looks better. I hope it's really good. I have no idea if it's going to be good, but it looks good to me. But more importantly, what's attracting me to it is it looks really fresh. It's a really fresh sci-fi thing. The visuals look fresh. The characters look different. And so I'm just really excited to see what they do with it. Number 3, Rebel Moon. I'm sure if you are in the nerd world at all, or not even in the nerd world, you have seen something for Rebel Moon. It's the newest thing from Zack Snyder, and it looks so great. I can't even tell you how great I think it looks. It's being made by Netflix. The story that I heard, it was that Zack Snyder pitched it to Lucasfilm a long time ago as a Star Wars film. He had an idea for a Star Wars story, and so he pitched it to Lucasfilm, and they said no, they didn't want to do it. And so he has basically held on to the story for a super long time, and he's just kind of revamped it into his own property and turned it into his own thing. And they just released a really big trailer the other day, which looks so good. It's so good it gives me goosebumps to watch it. It's like sci-fi, but then there's little fantasy elements, and there's lava swords that look kind of like lightsabers. It's like Harry Potter and Star Wars and every fantasy thing ever just kind of mushed together. and I just think it looks super cool. And they're doing part 1 is coming out this year, and part 2 is coming out in April. So it's like, I think it's November and April or December and April. It's coming out on Netflix, and then I believe it's going to start spinning off into comic books and novels and TV shows and all sorts of different things. So they're really going to build like this whole franchise around it, and it's really exciting. To me, it looks super fresh, and I'm excited that it was kind of originally a Star Wars story, because I feel like that will help it kind of have that feel, that familiar feel of like, this kind of feels like something we love, but that has gone in a totally new and fresh direction that is just really exciting. So Rebel Moon, I'm sure you've seen it, but if you haven't, make sure to check out the trailer. I think it's incredible. And finally, for number 4 is Unity. Unity is a Kickstarter campaign that just launched from the Den of Nerds. Josh Lucas is who is creating it, and he just launched a Kickstarter for it last week. It looks super cool. It's just another, similar to the Rippaverse, where it's just another independent creator trying to create a new and fresh story to kind of infuse a little bit of creativity and tell some new and fresh, unique stories in the marketplace. And so really excited about it. And I don't really know a whole lot about it at the moment. I just know kind of what's on the Kickstarter page. It's kind of a superhero fantasy type of story. And so definitely check it out. Make sure to go to the Kickstarter and support it if you think it looks interesting. It's just freshly launched, so there is, it's just new out there. He's been talking about it for a long time on his channel, about that he's got it in the works, but it just now launched, and so make sure to check that out. Unity looks really exciting. To me, at the end of the day, I'm just really excited about the rise of all these independent content creators. I hope to join in the fray soon, and I think we're at this day and age now where we don't have to rely so much on the big studios providing us with content and things to stories to watch and books to read. There's going to be this great group of independent creators who are coming up that are creating awesome stories that aren't bound to any sort of rules. They can just tell the stories they want to tell, and I think having the creative freedom to tell the stories you want to tell is very important. And so I'm really excited about these 4 properties. I hope that you guys all check them out. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's talk about it. If you know of any other IPs that are coming out that are whether they're big studio, whether they're independent, whatever, that you're super excited about, make sure to put that down below in the comments. Let's talk about it. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll see you next time on Writing Quest. Huzzah!